Welcome to the channel where it's okay to be an average Joe. My name is Zach, this is Zach of all trades.
With Digimon being unified, we as the West can't piggyback on the ideas and meta of Japan, who used to get the cards earlier than the West did. So I figured, what's gonna be the meta next? And which cards cannot be missed in the upcoming meta? After discussing my predictions, I'd like to advise you on picking up certain cards based on my predictions at the end of the video. Personally, I think this is going to be the floodgate meta, and while discussing the decks, maybe more experienced players will understand what I mean by that. I'll start with current relevant decks that will survive the next format. In this list, I will opt not to talk about MagnaGarurumon, because I really think Bandai will hit Gravity Crush in the next round of bans and restrictions. Although I think Sakuyamon is very strong and I think it needs to be adjusted as well, in the last month it hasn't been very prevalent in tournaments. That's why I have no idea if Bandai is going to nerf it or not. If it doesn't get the ban hammer, its sheer speed, fast board presence combined with its board control will make it a top contender. The Royal Knight deck has been running amok everywhere and has been prevalent through the past month. Although it seems to be farmed by traction of the Adventure deck, who run floodgates now that can be grabbed back from trash. But what makes the deck really strong is the possibility to come back thanks to Omnimon. And it has more board presence through the effect of Omnimon and the Last Guardian, and of course Yggdrasil. Which brings us to Imperialdramon, the gift that keeps on giving. Both the OG blue-green, but also red-purple, and even a mix of the two, have been doing very well. It not only has a lot of utility to control the board, but it kept its initial aggression. The deck has a lot of drawing power and recursion, which can make it very consistent. Although a lot of players who actually abuse, exploit, not the word I'm so looking for, play the deck. A lot of players who play the deck do say that it's either feast or famine with this deck. All joking aside, I generally feel playing against this deck is always so bothersome, but I respect its power nonetheless. For the transition to actual predictions, I think it's fitting to mention the deck that is currently transitioning into the meta territory. It's the Adventure deck. Like I mentioned, the power and recursion of floodgates make this a very strong contender because decks mentioned in this video do cheat out memory or reduce evos, stopping those decks in their tracks. Its power to come out of the gate swinging is very strong, and it can build a whiteboard in no time. I do think it won't be long before people pick up on this exploit and people will play cost floodgates to counter cheaper on plays. And speaking of which, let's start with actually predicting the decks that will get a wave of supporting EX-9 and which can make a big impact. One that has serious top potential and has the most copium of the internet, it's Machinedramon. Getting things in the trash won't be hard, and the assembly keyword is very powerful. There are many ways to play Machinedramon, and its unique mechanic and wide selection of cyborgs which can be utilized will make this a very strong deck. EX-1 introduced us to Machinedramon, but its release was paired with two starter decks that just introduced us to memory boosts, and since memory gain was so prevalent during the meta, people were running Madoki Betamon left and right. RIP Ultimate Connection. Coincidentally, I feel history might repeat itself with the release of the Adventure starter decks that focus heavily on cost reduction. I feel like people might run floodgates again to counteract those types of decks, with Machinedramon being stuck in the crossfire. Of course, we now have more ways to get rid of floodgates, so it might just be okay. In the past, we've seen hybrid Garurumon dominate metas, and a Japanese group, I'll link their video below, has shown the potential of MagnaGarurumon promo and the new Garurumon Sagittarius mode. Basically, this card duo exploits the not once per turn effect of Sagittarius mode to freevo into a Garurumon card when it sees Mat being played. As I stated in one of my other videos, this can be very easily done with the EX-1 Gabumon and Garurumon's inherit combo. After the attack concludes, MagnaGarurumon's end of attack will trigger, armor purging itself to the security to then restand. If you have a bit of memory, you can play Mats to Freevo again, looping the combo. This is a combo heavy playstyle, so I wonder how consistent it is, but it looks powerful and strong, and also a lot of fun. And because of MagnaGarurumon's main effects, you can buy time by recovering after your attacks. And unlike other cool end of attack loop combo cards, the effect to bounce a level 3, 4 and 5 make it a very safe swing. For now, we are living in an Omnimon era. It will get support in BT22, but let's just focus on this wave first. I saved this prediction, or rather opinion, for last because I might be biased. I think Omnimon can be a great contender because of the support we already have. It will gain more endurance with the new ability to recover. It is harder to counter because Omnimon itself is not an ace anymore. The Blitz and Crest can be protected by the effect of Crest Garurumon, meaning you're less dependent on MMK. A lot of these cards have synergy with different archetypes, the new DM trade, but also the adventure trade. Not to forget the BT17 support that is still viable for it. As of right now, I don't have any actual build pinpointed, but I think there is lots and lots of potential. Before advising you to pick up certain cards, I just want to mention that I'm trying to let the channel grow and would like to get to 400 subs before the end of the summer. And with your help, we definitely can get there. So, small effort, big gesture, leave a like, comment, sub, or all of the above. All in all, I think you'd be wise to pick up some oldies but goodies. As mentioned before, floodgates. Floodgates everywhere. Which one you ask? Yeah, like all of them. Another card that could be useful is Crimson Blaze. And for our Imperial-Dramon players, sorry for the insult earlier, here's a free tip. Imperial-Dramon Fighter Mode Red-Purple can evo on top of any Dragon mode and has the Floodgate effect when digivolving. So there you go. EX-1, Gabu, Gaburu, and even MagnaGarurumon are very cheap and easy to grab. And if you like the deck, make sure to pick up a playset of the MagnaGarurumon. Speaking of EX-1, if you are feeling lucky, you might even want to pick up a box. They're quite cheap right now. You can potentially grab a Machinedramon or Analog Youth alt art, but also will grab yourself the Gabumon line, Analog Youth regular art, and that one is still a very wanted card that can be sold for a few bucks as well. If you haven't picked up a starter deck, I think now is the time. It's a cheap way to get into the meta and a solid engine for the future. So these are my predictions. Now it's your turn. Which decks do you think will define the next meta? And what are you picking up before prices spike? Drop it in the comments. Until then, Digifans, stay sharp, play smart, and keep it classy. See ya.
See you next time on Sack of All Trades, reminding you to keep it classy.